So, Seth Rollins has two dominant beasts with him, right? Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, what we're supposed to believe are dominant beasts. They can take anyone out. And he has the Oracle with him, once known as the Advocate, once known as the Wise Man, now the Oracle. He's got everything there for him. He's got everything he needs. He surrounds himself with people that can get him what he needs. Yet he needs to win a Money in the Bank briefcase to get a title match. And he needs to fake an injury to cash in. How does that make sense? Now, I'm going to go over everything that happened. SummerSlam Night 1 is in the history books. Bad show. Lack of creative, lack of effort, lack of everything really. But we're going to go over everything. That cash-in was actually done well. I liked it. I was actually a fan of that. The cash-in itself, very well done. I was a big fan of how it was done. It was done pretty flawlessly. It was done very well. Even a smidgen of creative put into it, which is more than you can say for everything everything else that happens in WWE and last night. So I liked the cash-in itself, which is why I'm not absolutely fuming about it. But now, once the dust settles, when SummerSlam is done, out the way, it's over with, it's in the history books, we are past this weekend, we are left with Seth Rollins as our champion again. We go into Seth Rollins and CM Punk again. Now, this is not the type of feud where it's that good that you need to keep going back to it over and over and over and over and over again for years because it's that good, right? These two people have chemistry on the level that you need to see over and over again. There's been many instances of that throughout history in wrestling, right? This is not one of them. They do not have the chemistry that even a CM Punk and Drew McIntyre have. They do not have the level of chemistry that would make you care about them doing this again. Because that is exactly what we are doing here. And we have no choice. We have got to sit through this again. CM Punk, Seth Rollins, August 2025. Here we go again. I have no issue with them having a multi-year feud. It's happened many times in the past where two people, enemies, they have a feud, they have a time away from each other, they keep going back because they're just arch enemies, right? And it's that good, it's that entertaining, you have to see them keep going at it. I have no issue with that, but not with these two. Not with these two. Everyone is, I'm pretty confident in saying most people are bored of this. I'm pretty confident in saying most people do not want to sit through a Seth Rollins CM Punk feud again. Most people do not want to sit through a Seth Rollins title reign again. Now, as I say, the cash-in itself was done very, very well. It was done very well. Was the injury real? Maybe it was real but exaggerated. Maybe he tweaked something, but it ended up being fine. They exaggerated it because they thought, oh, maybe we can go somewhere with this. Potentially. But as I said at the start, why would you need to fake an injury in kayfabe now, right? Because that's the storyline they're going to tell. I'm pretty confident that they're going to do that, right? So in kayfabe, why would you fake an injury to then cash in when you've got Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker there and Paul Heyman? Paul Heyman told Sami Zayn a couple weeks after the turn at WrestleMania, if you go to SmackDown, I can get you a title match with John Cena. I am at that level in the company where I can do that. I can get people title matches. So why couldn't he do that for Seth? Oh my God, I can't talk. Why does Seth Rollins have to qualify for a Money in the Bank match and then fake an injury to cash in? Anyway, I really did like the cash in itself. It was done very well. Him pushing the crutches aside was done perfectly. It was great. It was done very well. CM Punk gets robbed. Now, I'm not going to jump to conspiracy theories here, but we all know Triple H is a very, very, very petty person. Would he go out his way to purposely do this to CM Punk? Possibly. I'm just putting it out there. Don't put it past Triple H. Do not put it past him. But that was that ended the show. Last night needed a big, huge moment. Just a talking point coming out of the show, because if that didn't happen, there's nothing. We're not talking about anything right now. CM Punk being champion, but that's it. Which I don't think is a huge talking point, right? Because it's kind of predictable. We wouldn't have had a huge, big talking point coming out of last night because they put no effort into the rest of the show. Which is what Triple H does with big PLEs. WrestleMania, night 1, awful. Ends with a big moment to kind of distract you from the lack of effort he put in. Night 2, awful. Big moment to end it for a kind of same thing. Take you away from the lack of effort. SummerSlam, night 1, awful show, lack of effort. Big moment at the end to take you away from the lack of effort he put in. It's a very common theme for what Triple H does with these PLEs, especially the big ones. If this was their attempt to make up for WrestleMania, they failed drastically. Because that did not make up for WrestleMania. That was not as bad as WrestleMania, but not creative at all. But Seth Rollins is our champion again. Does that do anything for anyone? Really? Does Seth Rollins being champion do anything for everyone? Now let me put something out there for someone. Imagine if LA Knight won that briefcase. In reality, LA Knight isn't even on the show last night. Instead, he's liking Instagram comments suggesting put him in the top spot or let him go somewhere else so he can be the top spot there. That's what LA Knight is doing. Instead, we have to do Seth Rollins again. I don't hate it. Purely because the cash-in was that good. But it's just annoying and I'm dreading what happens going forward. Now, what happens for the 3 people involved in this? CM Punk. What happens now for CM Punk? Does he... I mean, obviously he's going to continue with Seth Rollins, but then does it lead to him just taking the title back? Is that what all of this is for? It going back to CM Punk? Is that moment gone now? Would it be as big of a moment? No. Gunther, he's going to go away for a while, I'm pretty sure. Gunther's been ruined because he loses to Jey Uso at WrestleMania, taps out in 8 seconds. Goes into something with Pat McAfee, a commentator. But that was their attempt to make up for WrestleMania. Then he wins the title back on a Raw. Then he loses it to CM Punk. He is our only big dominant beast, right? He's our Brock Lesnar in 2025. We don't have anyone else. If there is an underdog story where someone has to overcome the odds, you put them against Gunther. He is the only person like that. So when he comes back, they're going to have to book him perfectly. Because we can't invest in that anymore. We can't invest in that idea that Gunther is a dominant beast. He tapped out to Jey Uso and he's lost to CM Punk. You're going to have to book him very well when he comes back. Which Triple H is incapable of. Seth Rollins, you're going to have to book him perfectly if you want people to care about and invest in this title reign and him. Because it does nothing for me, personally. Seth Rollins and this faction, I like each person individually, but it doesn't work as a collective. Bronson Breakker and Bronson Reed work alright together, but Paul Heyman has never seemed more irrelevant in his entire career. Seth Rollins doesn't really do much for me in this, so this is going to have to be booked perfectly. If you're going to take that title away from CM Punk, put it on Seth Rollins, you're going to have to justify it and make everyone that hates it go, okay, we see why you've done it, we see what you thought, we see that you're cooking. You're going to have to do this perfectly. Anyway, let's get to SummerSlam Night 1. Let's do this. Let's go over everything that happened. Starts off with Cardi B. And an absolute load of ads throughout the entire show, which we all knew was going to happen. But we start off Roman Reigns, Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. I mean, everyone, well, not everyone, but I saw a lot of people saying that this was great, one of the best openers we've ever seen. It's so annoying how when people see something good, they exaggerate it to the point of saying it's great, the best. When people see something bad, it's automatically the worst they've ever seen. Let's calm down a bit. It was all right. If you have Roman Reigns doing play the theme song again during the match, the hand thing, it automatically cannot be great. What are we doing with Roman Reigns? That is the most out of character thing he could do. I get he's face now, right? And he has a bit more fun. But let's chill out a little bit. Let's calm down with the Roman Reigns a little bit. He wouldn't do that. An alright match. Nothing to write home about. No creativity put into it. The most you had in this match was Roman Reigns jumping over the top rope. That's the only talking point of the match. And then Jey Uso pins Bronson Reed. And that is it. That was that match. That was your opener. No creativity, no effort. It was just that. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It was just there. It happened. Was it the right way to go? Bronson and the Braun brothers losing? I don't know. Probably not. We have to be careful with Bronson Reed because he got pinned by Jey Uso twice now. We have to be a bit careful with... I know you don't want to have Braun Breaker take the pin, but we have to be a bit careful with Bronson Reed. It's going to get to a point where we start to look at him and think, you're just not that dominant. Right? We have to be careful with him. Jey Uso pins Bronson Reed, so everyone can yeet. Right? Everyone has a feel-good moment to start the show. Whatever. Braun Breaker was limping after this. Hopefully that's not a serious injury. We'll find out. Then we have the women's tag team title match, which was Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Raquel Gonzalez and Roxanne Perez. Is it Raquel Gonzalez or Raquel Rodriguez? Rodriguez now, isn't it? Yeah, Raquel Rodriguez. Is it? I don't know. It's one of the two. Too similar. And Roxanne Perez. Charlotte and Alexa win this match. Again, just nothing to write home about. Nothing huge. Nothing worthy of a Summerslam moment. Nothing big. Charlotte and Alexa win. Yeah, whatever. This tag team has grown on me. Initially, I hated it. I'm still not a fan of it. I guess it's worked for them, right? The whole idea and point of this tag team is to get Charlotte a rub from Alexa. So you cheer for Alexa, so now you've got no choice but to cheer for Charlotte as well. You've got no choice. They're together. So I guess it has worked because Charlotte is getting cheers now. But the tag team still doesn't really do much for me, but I have no issue with them winning. I thought they'd lose the titles via Liv. Whether it was last night or in the future, I thought Liv was going to cost them the titles. But does that make too much sense for WWE to do? Did they just want to have a SummerSlam kind of moment? Charlotte and Alexa winning? Maybe. I don't know. Moving on. Karrion Kross versus Sami Zayn. Now, the whole idea of this match, the whole point of it was, if I win this match, you have to say what I want. If you win this match, I'll say what you want. Riveting stuff, right? Riveting. On the edge of your seat, storytelling. Stipulation like we've never seen before. And at the end of it, no one said anything. No one said anything. Sami pins Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross was extremely over with the crowd. The crowd loved Karrion Kross. So Sami Zayn wins. I'm sorry. Sami Zayn does absolutely nothing for me in 2025. Sami Zayn bores the life out of me. He is boring. His entire character is, I have good morals. I take the moral high ground. What you're doing is wrong. What I'm doing is right. Which for a normal human being, that is completely fine. But for a professional wrestler that we're supposed to invest in and care about their character, it is boring. It is stale. I do not care that you have good morals. How is that supposed to make me invest in a storyline, a match that you're involved in professional wrestling? Spoiler, it's not going to. Especially if they're going to go for a title win in the future, which they've hinted to a few times. If we're going to do that, change his character entirely. I like Sami Zayn, but this character is very, very boring. Sami Zayn does nothing for me in 2025. He bores the life out of me. I don't know why he won this match. That could very well be the last you've seen of Karrion Kross, by the way. I think his contract expires this month, right? August. And I don't think they've offered him one. I don't think they're going to offer him one. So that could be the last time you see Karrion Kross in WWE. Just sad. Just sad. Whatever you think of Karrion Kross, he was over last night. And he just takes a clean loss. And that was that. Moving on. We get Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton. Now, a very short match. Just over 5 minutes, I think. Now, it probably should have gone longer. But I don't think it should be a long match. Because if you go too long with a Jade Cargill match, you start to see weaknesses. Weaknesses start to get exposed with Jade. Jade is not ready for a title win. Tiffany won last night and that was the right way to go. Out of all of the women that WWE have brought in, you go Julia, Stephanie, Vakir, Jordan Grace, Blake Monroe. Out of all of them, they've all gone to NXT. Jade Cargill, straight to the main roster when she needs the most work. She's the most green. They are all more talented than her. Why did she go straight to the main roster? Now, she will be incredibly talented in the future. She'll get her title reigns. She'll have her moments. She'll be a huge star. She's not ready yet, though. She could not win that title last night. She is not ready. She's got the look. She's got everything. Apart from the in-ring work. Yet. She will in the future. If she dedicates herself to it 100%, she will be incredibly talented. She'll have a fuck ton of title reigns. She'll be a big name in this company. But not yet. We can't end this Tiffany title reign yet. Not yet. Last night was not the right moment. It was a decent match. It did what it needed to do. It did its job. Tiffany wins. Can't really ask for much more else. Then we get Jelly Roll, Randy Orton versus Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre. Now, up until this, this was genuinely the best match of the night. Up until this point, this was the best match of the night. Because this was the only match that they at least put a smidgen of effort into. A smidgen of creativity into. They didn't for the rest of the show. And no other match during the show, did they put any effort into. The bare minimum booking. They put a little bit of effort into this. You had Jelly Roll get taken out through the table by Logan Paul. Very good spot. Helped out by doctors. Taken to the back, but he says, no, I'm going to help Randy Orton. Jelly Roll did not look great. He did his job. He did what he needed to do. He didn't mess up. He looked okay. He did his job. He did what he needed to do. He didn't mess up. He didn't look incredible. He looked kind of how we expected him to look, and that's fine. It was sports entertainment. It was fun, right? Compared to the rest of the show, it was actually quite fun. No complaints about it, really. And then Logan Paul pins Jelly Roll. They had to win. Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre had to win because Drew McIntyre alone just needs a W on his record. He's been booked absolutely horrendously since his entire feud with CM Punk. He's been booked awful since. So he cannot take another L on a PLE. Even if he's not the one getting pinned, it's still a loss. Drew McIntyre needed that W, so it's the right way to go. Logan Paul could do with a W as well, I suppose, so whatever. It is what it is. Don't mind it. No issues. It was sports entertainment. Then we go into professional wrestling. Gunther versus CM Punk. Professional wrestling. Now, the crowd weren't into it. The crowd were bored. And I saw a lot of people online say that they were bored. If you were bored, I don't know what to say. That was wrestling. That was a really good wrestling match that had one of the most obvious blade jobs I have ever seen in my life in wrestling. CM Punk takes Gunther out on the table, kind of just swipes his leg. Gunther doesn't even come close to hitting his head. He goes under the table, and then he comes up and his face is covered in blood. One of the most obvious blade jobs we've ever seen. But it added something to it, I guess. It is what it is. The crowd weren't into it, but that was a really fun match. I really liked it. I loved it. It was professional wrestling. But during all of it, I was like, at some point, we're going to hear Seth's music, right? At some point, during the match or after the match, surely this ends with Seth. We all knew it was coming. It was kind of predictable, which does hinder it a little bit. But the cash-in was done very well. CM Punk wins, and then he gets robbed. His moment gets robbed, gets taken away from Seth Rollins. As I said at the start, the cash-in was done very well. I was a very big fan of the cash-in itself. I'm just dreading what happens now. I'm dreading a Seth Rollins title reign again. I'm dreading CM Punk versus Seth again in August 2025. We're doing this again. Where does this go? I don't know. But it was a really good match with a good ending. So for the night, it was good. I'm just dreading what happens now, where we go forward with it. This is going to have to be booked pretty much perfectly for everyone to get involved, everyone invested, everyone excited in where this is going, and everyone care about where this is going. Because right now, I'm dreading it. I won't lie. But we'll see. We'll find out. That was SummerSlam night 1. We're going to night 2 tonight. Hopefully better. Hopefully better than night 1, because last night, lackluster, disappointing, lack of effort, lack of creative, the bare minimum. And just a big moment at the end to kind of Triple H hoping that that moment takes you away from the lack of effort he put into the rest of the night. Anyway, let me know what you think. Let me know what you thought of the video. Let me know what you thought of night 1. Hopefully night 2 is better.